Hi, I'm Megan. Welcome to today's live reading of Katie's Tale by Carol McKibben, presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Join me. Chapter 1. The puppy fought the waves. Swell after swell pulled her underwater. Drowning in the sea wasn't in her plan. The dog paddled to the surface and blew water out of her tiny nose. She struggled, but the tide's invisible hand was stronger. The undertow pulled her down. The quiet underwater muted her whimpers. Her tiny paws shifted sand, but couldn't get purchase. Lean muscle and skin were not enough to make her buoyant. The small puppy couldn't fight the current, the waves tumbling over her, or hold her breath. Hands grabbed her and lifted the sputtering pup, who coughed salt water from her lungs. Lilly Loggins waded through the surfing waves, holding the black pit bull pup with a white blaze clutched to her chest. Pressing her close, Lilly moved to the dry sand, sat, and cradled her rescue. What happened, girl? She inspected the puppy and noticed it was female and beautifully marked. Climbing closer, the puppy licked the girl's face nonstop. Lilly giggled and rolled on the sand with the dog, who started to bark and whine at the same time. Holding the puppy out at arm's length, she asked her, "Where is your owner? I haven't ever noticed strays here." She looked along Crescent Beach, a private alcove she'd known since she had moved here with her father. "I'd better find out if you are chipped and locate your people." Glancing once more at the empty Florida beach, she jumped up, removed the long-sleeved shirt tied around her waist, and wrapped the pup in it. She trudged the mile up to the beach house nestled just behind the dunes where she had lived all through high school with her dad after her parents had divorced. The rustic home faced the ocean, complete with a wraparound porch and floor-to-ceiling windows. Lilly loved the handcrafted feel of the raw, natural materials from which the bright and airy house had been built, with its weathered wood, timbered furniture, wide plank floors, and natural stone. Climbing the stairs up to the deck, she spotted her father. He turned to face her with a smoke pipe in one hand and a glass of Jack Daniels on ice over ice in the other. He smiled. "What have you got there, honey?" His thick southern drawl made him appear slow in thought when, in fact, he was highly intelligent. He was highly intelligent, a sea-level safety specialist and executive who had spoken before Congress on issues facing the mining industry. Tom Loggins had worked around the country throughout his successful career. Lilly adored him, not just for his professional accomplishments, but for his unconditional love for her. His support for her had always been unwavering. Lilly admired his tall stature. He was a bear of a man, with red gold hair peppered with silver and the bluest of eyes. His smile always carried some secret that he kept to himself. "Dad, I found this pup on the beach." She looked as if she was struggling to keep from drowning. "I didn't see anyone around, so I thought we could take care of her until I can get her to the vet tomorrow to see if she has a chip." Tom smiled, turned his pipe to the other side of his mouth, and nodded his approval. "Thanks, Dad. Love you." As Lily scampered inside, she yelled over her shoulder, "Going to give this puppy a bath. Who knows where she might have come from. Can't wait to tell Micah about her." Tom shook his head. "That hot shot isn't right for you." "Dad, we talked about this," Lily shouted. "He's 29 and you're 18. So?" Tom grumbled at the thought of Micah Moore. Lily came down the stairs, phone in her hand, and with the puppy hot to her heels. "Micah wants to speak with you." Tom set down his whiskey and settled his pipe in a cradle and took the phone. "Hello?" Lily picked up the pit bull puppy and listened in on their conversation. Micah spoke with soft determination. "Mr. Loggins, I'd like to speak with you in person. Will you meet me at the Marsh Creek Country Club?" "The place where we met, huh?" Tom smiled, and the gleam in his eye held knowing and mischief. The Loggins family had first been introduced to Micah at the Marsh Creek Country Club, where Tom was a member. "Yes. Is 7 o'clock all right?" Lily jumped up. "Yes, we'll be there." "7 o'clock is fine." Tom handed Lily's phone back to her and took a sip of his whiskey. He had a few hours to savor his drink before meeting with Micah. An hour later, Lily rushed down the stairs. "Dad, I just got off the phone with Micah. We're going to call the puppy Katie." "Oh, we're going to call the puppy Caddy. Get it? Caddy. Micah's a golfer." She winked at him. Tom rolled his eyes and puffed on his pipe. "You're getting ahead of yourself, aren't you? We need to see if she belongs to anyone." "We will, but don't you see? She was meant to come to us." Micah Moore was a handsome young man with sandy blonde hair and brown eyes. Of average height, the man was an athlete in every sense of the word. What Tom liked about him was his respectful attitude. He'd approach the situation in an honorable fashion.